Welcome back to the deep dive. So you wanted to learn a little more about that Alamo Bowl, huh?
That was a good one.
The Colorado-BYU matchup. Specifically, the impact of two of Colorado's biggest stars,
Right.
Travis Hunter and Sanders. We've got you covered. We're going to be looking at a recent article from KSL.com.
Okay.
So get ready to go beyond the headlines
Yeah.
and really understand what made this game and these players so significant.
Well, the interesting thing here, BYU won decisively, 36-14.
Yeah.
But the story goes much deeper than that final score,
Mhm.
especially when you consider this was the final college game for both Hunter and Sanders, who are both expected to be high NFL draft picks.
Okay, so let's unpack this.
Yeah.
It's December 28th, 2024, the Alamo Bowl.
Right.
And all eyes are on these two players. Can you remind us about their backgrounds?
Absolutely. Travis Hunter is the Heisman Trophy winner.
Right.
And get this, he played both offense and defense.
Wow.
He finished the game with 4 catches for 106 yards and a touchdown.
Wow.
Plus 4 solo tackles on defense.
Talk about a two-way player.
Oh, yeah?
And then we have Sanders at quarterback.
Mm,
He's also a son of Coach Deion Sanders, which adds another layer to this whole story.
right. He ended the game going 16 for 23, throwing for 208 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions.
Now, to really understand the significance of these two players, this game,
Right.
I mean, we have to talk about the Coach Prime effect, right?
Yeah.
Deion Sanders arrived at Colorado in December 2022
Yeah.
and basically flipped the program on its head.
It was a seismic shift. Before Coach Prime arrived, Colorado was struggling.
Oh, yeah.
They weren't even on the radar for most college football fans. But Deion Sanders brought this incredible energy and a completely new system.
Right.
He attracted top transfer players,
Yeah.
including, of course, his son and Travis Hunter.
And Colorado went from a team that was barely winning games to selling out stadiums every week.
Exactly. They became must-see TV.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is due to the talent and hype
Right.
that Deion Sanders brought to the program.
So even though Colorado lost this Alamo Bowl game,
Yeah,
Hunter and Shedeur still made a huge impact.
absolutely.
Hunter had that incredible 43-yard touchdown catch.
Yes. He just seemed to glide right through the BYU defense.
Yeah.
And you can't forget his contributions on defense.
He really was all over the field that night,
Oh, yeah,
living up to that Heisman Trophy hype.
for sure.
And Shedeur, despite those 2 interceptions, he had moments of brilliance too.
Absolutely. He made some impressive throws, even under pressure.
Yeah.
It's clear that both of these players have a bright future ahead of them.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating to think how Deion Sanders helped shape them into the players they are today.
So you're telling me Deion Sanders is taking credit for their potential success?
Well, he has publicly stated
Okay.
that he believes he's equipped both Hunter and Shedeur for success at the next level,
Oh, wow.
specifically the NFL.
That's quite a statement.
It is. It brings up a lot of interesting questions
Yeah.
about his coaching style and how he develops players.
It's almost like this Alamo Bowl was just a snapshot of their journey at Colorado under Coach Prime, a culmination of everything they've learned and accomplished. But let's not forget, Colorado was practically an afterthought in college football before Deion Sanders arrived.
Oh, they were. Coach Prime transformed the Buffaloes into a national phenomenon. It was unbelievable to see the change in just a year.
He turned them into must-see TV, but how did he do it? What were some of the specific things he changed to bring about this transformation?
Well, he completely overhauled the roster, by bringing in a wave of talented transfer players like we've already discussed.
Right.
But he also instilled a new mentality, a winning attitude that had been missing.
Yeah.
And he implemented a high-octane offensive system that showcased his players' skills.
And that brings us back to Hunter and Shedeur,
Right.
whose Alamo Bowl performance was almost a microcosm of their journey at Colorado under Coach Prime. There were flashes of brilliance, some adversity to overcome, but ultimately, their story is still being written.
Exactly. We've talked about their stats.
Right.
But I think their impact on the program goes far beyond the numbers.
You're right. They were part of a cultural shift, a new era for Colorado football.
And now as they prepare for the NFL draft, their journey continues.
Speaking of their impact, let's take a closer look at some of the plays that showcased their talent in this game.
Yeah.
Can you break down some of those key moments for us?
Of course. Let's start with Hunter's 43-yard touchdown catch. It was a thing of beauty. BYU was running a cover 2 zone defense,
Okay.
and Hunter just blew past the cornerbacks.
Wow.
Shedeur delivered a perfect pass, hitting Hunter in stride for the score.
And don't forget those plays on defense.
Yeah.
Hunter had 4 solo tackles, and he was constantly disrupting plays.
Right. He was a force to be reckoned with on both sides of the ball.
And what about Shutter? Despite those 2 interceptions, he still showed flashes of brilliance, like you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
What were some of the throws that impressed you?
Well, there was this one play in the second quarter. Colorado was facing 3rd and long.
Okay.
And BYU brought the blitz.
Uh-huh.
Shitter stood tall in the pocket, evaded the pressure, and delivered a laser to his receiver for a first down.
Wow.
It was a gutsy throw.
Yeah.
That showed his poise and accuracy under pressure.
And that's something that's going to serve him well in the NFL, where he'll be facing even tougher defenses.
Right.
It's clear that he has a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah.
It really seems like both Shutter and Travis have all the tools to succeed at the next level. But let's circle back to Coach Prime for a second.
Yeah.
You know, his arrival at Colorado, his impact on the program.
Right.
They've sparked some really interesting conversations about the future of college football.
You're absolutely right. There's a lot of debate about his coaching style, specifically his reliance on transfer players.
Yeah.
Some people argue that it creates an unfair advantage for schools with more resources.
Right. And others say that it gives players more opportunities and flexibility to find the right fit for their development. It's a complicated issue with no easy answers.
It is, and it's something that we'll likely continue to see play out in the coming years as more high-profile coaches adopt similar strategies.
So to wrap up this deep dive, BYU walked away with a decisive victory in the Alamo Bowl.
Yeah.
But like we said at the beginning, this game was about so much more than just the final score.
Right.
We dove deep into the impact of Travis Hunter and Shedder Sanders, 2 exceptional players who redefined what Colorado football could be, even in just a single season.
And we explored how their journey at Colorado under the guidance of Coach Prime has prepared them for the next chapter in their careers, the NFL.
Now we want to hear from you. Do you think Deion Sanders' approach to coaching, with his emphasis on transfers and creating a national buzz, is ultimately good or bad for college football? Let us know your thoughts. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
We'll catch you next time for another fascinating exploration.